everyone, this is Annindita and today's video is about the difference between yoga, Reiki, and meditation. In fact, this is a question that I recently got asked by one of my YouTube viewers, and I thought it would be a great topic to make a video on. So, if you ask this question to other teachers, you will probably have, different opinions. So, of course, these are just my personal opinions based on my personal experiences. You might have had similar experiences, or your opinion might be totally different. So, before we get started, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So, here is what I think are the main differences between yoga, Reiki, and meditation. But before looking at the differences, I would like to point out what the similarities are. So all three of these, yoga, Reiki, and meditation, they are eventually focused towards the same thing. Eventually or ultimately, their aim is to bring about a balance or harmony between your mind, body, and spirit. But the methodology or the techniques used are very different. In my opinion, Reiki is a very subtle modality. And why I call it subtle is because it works with your energy body. On the other hand, yoga is a more physical technique. It is more gross in that sense because you are working with your physical body, which is more dense. It is not as subtle as your energy body. And meditation is also a very subtle practice because meditation works on your mental and emotional bodies. And eventually, meditation also works on your energy bodies as well. So, in that respect, I feel like meditation and Reiki are more similar. However, there is a caveat to that. When people think about yoga, they usually think about doing headstands or holding these crazy hard asanas, things like that. And in fact, a lot of people have this incorrect idea about what advanced yoga is supposed to look like. They think advanced yoga is about doing these headstands and crazy asanas and extreme stretches and holding really, really difficult postures for a long time with ease. And yes, all of that is part of certain yoga practices. However, as you really advance in yoga, the word yoga actually means union of your mind, body, and spirit. So, all these postures and all these asanas, they are actually meant to calm down your body. A lot of us have so much excess energy, and all this excess energy needs to be channeled before you are in a state where you can sit down quietly, undisturbed, without feeling restless, and meditate. So, in order to prepare your body for that kind of a deep meditative session, which is also called a samadhi, in order to prepare your body for that, you do yoga, the different yoga postures. These yogic postures, they literally train our bodies as well as our minds and emotions to stay still. So that is the purpose of yoga. And as you advance in yoga, advanced yoga is not really so much about being able to do headstands and crazy stretches, but advanced yoga, truly advanced yoga, is actually about being able to sit still for long periods of time with unwavering focus. That is what advanced yoga is really about. So, having said that, I feel that Reiki and meditation, they are very similar because they both work with the energy body or the subtle bodies. And yoga, the way it is taught today, it is a more physical practice. It is not so subtle, at least in the initial stages. And later on, it might become more and more subtle. And I know in most of the yoga studios, there is a little bit of meditation involved. So they are incorporating some amount of that subtle element of the yoga practice. But primarily, when people join a yoga studio or when people join any kind of a yoga workshop or class, and I'm just saying based on what people's intentions are usually these days. They are joining a yoga class primarily for physical benefits to improve their strength, their stamina, their muscles, to improve their flexibility in the joints, and all that is really great. And since the mind and body are all connected, when your body is flexible, your mind and your emotions are also more flexible and fluid. It's all interconnected. So, based on how people perceive Reiki, yoga, and meditation, I feel like people perceive yoga to be more of a physical technique and Reiki and meditation to be more of a mental, emotional, and energetic technique. Secondly, both Reiki and meditation don't require any special tools. Now, if you want, you can always add on tools to your Reiki session or your meditation session, and a lot of people do. But originally, you don't really need any equipment as such in order to be doing Reiki or meditation. On the other hand, you do need a few very basic tools to get started with yoga. At the very least, you would possibly need a yoga mat and maybe even yoga blocks, maybe some kind of a pillow to sit on. So, usually, yoga requires a few equipments to begin with. Thirdly, I feel personally that the intention of students as well as teachers, the students who are signing up for a Reiki class versus the students who are signing up for a meditation class or a yoga class, is very different, as well as the intention of the teachers who are teaching a yoga workshop or a yoga class or meditation class or a Reiki class. And what I have seen, the difference in the intention is that people who are attending a Reiki class, they're usually doing so because they want to either work on their own healing or maybe help somebody, but it is more focused towards healing because that's what Reiki is primarily for. Reiki is primarily an energy healing modality. And so I feel that most of the people so far who have taken Reiki workshops from me, they are somehow attracted towards the idea of healing and becoming whole and complete, or either helping themselves or helping others. Meditation, on the other hand, is primarily a way of letting go, surrendering, also for deep relaxation. Of course, meditation also leads to healing because when you are in that restful state of deep relaxation, your body is automatically healing. So it definitely also has healing potential. But most of the people who join for meditation workshops, at least personally, what I have seen in my workshops, they are joining for the benefits of relaxation, finding more peace, to have the ability to let go, surrender to a higher power, also to connect to their higher self and to enhance their intuition. So, usually, those are the main intentions of the students when they are joining a meditation workshop. And because that is what the students are looking for, usually most teachers are also framing their meditation workshops like that. So there are a lot of meditation workshops which are aimed towards enhancing your intuition or aimed towards manifesting the things that you would love to manifest in your life, and also aimed towards surrendering or letting go. So these three are the dominant themes that I have seen in a meditation workshop or class. And then when it comes to yoga, the primary reason that I see people joining a yoga class is, of course, for their physical body, to make the body more flexible, to have more strength, more muscle definition, and overall to improve their balance and feel grounded and stable in their bodies. So that is what I see generally why people join a yoga class. And usually, most of the yoga workshops are also dedicated towards improving the body flexibility, body strength, stamina, things like that. Things of a more physical nature. Number fourth is the risk of injury. With Reiki, because it is such a subtle modality that works with your energy body, there is literally no risk of injury. With meditation as well, because again, you are working with your mental and emotional body, there is minimal risk of injury. And the reason I'm saying minimal is because one off case I have heard where people have messed up with the wrong kind of meditation. And what I mean by that is there are certain meditations, especially the ones which are related with Kundalini rising, because these are meditations that you need to be very careful about. And you should not be taking a Kundalini workshop, whether it is Kundalini meditation or any kind of Kundalini awakening. Any kind of Kundalini workshops should not be taken with just about any teacher. The teachers should have the ability to not just teach the technique to the students, but also if something goes wrong, because the Kundalini energy is a very, very strong energy. And most of us are not really at that place where we will be able to handle this energy if it rises too quickly. And so, if that does happen, the teacher should have the ability to be able to control somebody else's energy as well. And honestly, there are very, very, very few teachers who know how to do that. So, I know personally a few people who have taken Kundalini meditation and they didn't really have a very good experience and they got migraines and things like that. And they never had that before. So things can sometimes go even more seriously wrong. So unless and until you are playing with things like that, most meditation sessions, they're absolutely harmless and there is no risk of injury whatsoever. And finally, when it comes to yoga, there is some amount of risk of injury involved because you are working with your physical body. So if you are not paying attention to your body, if you're not being mindful, if you're not listening to your body, then there is a chance of injury being involved. Then, number five is the origination of yoga, meditation, and Reiki. So, Reiki is supposed to have originated in Japan and it was rediscovered by Dr. Mikao Sui. The reason I say rediscovered is because energy healing has been around for centuries, and a lot of ancient shamans and ancient traditions had been practicing it in different forms. And they might not have called it Reiki, they called it whatever they called it. But later on, it was Dr. Mikao Sui who brought it back into the world and spread that information around. And then, through him and his students, this information and knowledge started spreading out into the West as well. While the origination of yoga and Reiki has been traced back to ancient India. Number six is the way Reiki, yoga, and meditation performed. So, Reiki can be performed distantly because it is an energy modality and energy is everywhere. Energy is non local. So, energy is not fixed in a certain point in time. So, you could be doing Reiki on anyone, irrespective of their time zone, irrespective of how much the distance is, and it is still equally effective. Yoga, on the other hand, first of all, you cannot be doing yoga on somebody else to heal them. You could only be using yoga for yourself. And because it is only for yourself, there is no question of being able to do it distantly. And then meditation, again, because meditation is also a subtle practice, you work with the different energetic layers, like the emotional body, the mental body, the spiritual body. So, meditation can be done distantly in order to help somebody else over a distance. That can be done. So, both Reiki and meditation in that way are very similar. And in fact, that is why I really emphasize in my Reiki workshops to my students to have a daily meditation practice. Because what I have personally seen is that meditation on a daily basis really enhances the Reiki sessions. Because what meditation does is it helps to focus your mind. And the more focused your mind is, the more you're able to channel the energy more effectively while you're doing a Reiki session. So, those are the six differences that I personally feel are the differentiating points between yoga, Reiki, and meditation. I hope you found this information useful. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you have been practicing yoga, Reiki, and meditation, or maybe just any two of them, what do you think are the differences between these modalities? I would be really interested in knowing what you think are the differences between these three modalities. And as always, if you haven't already, then subscribe to my channel and like this video, share it with your friends and family. And I'll be back soon with another new video. Bye for now.